Hello everyone, this is Ketish here. In this video, I'm going to go through the AQA Combined Science Biology Paper 2 Foundation Tier from 2023. Question number 7 is on the topic of inheritance, variation, and evolution, mainly to do with evolution and bacterial resistance. So, it is estimated that 99.9% of all species that have ever lived are now extinct. Why is the percentage of species that are extinct only an estimate? How come we don't know the exact number? Well, humans have not found evidence of every species. We don't really know what type of animals have actually lived in the past in the world all of this time. So that is the best answer. All individuals of one species have the same genes. That's got nothing to do with this. Extinction is always caused by humans. No, extinction has been happening for a whole range of reasons. We didn't kill the dinosaurs, remember? Right? What evidence is used to study species that have become extinct? How do we know about species that have become extinct? That's mainly coming from fossil records, right? Fossils that we dig up from time to time. It's the fossils that helped us to understand that there were dinosaurs in the world living once. And question 7.3 is your 6-mark question for this paper. A bacterium called Clostridioides difficile, C. difficile, can infect the human digestive system. Again, don't worry about the name of the bacteria. It can be just, let's call it C. difficult, right? Just to help it pronounce. But understand, it's just the question is just talking about a bacteria. C. difficile can multiply and produce toxins. So all bacteria will multiply, and when they multiply, they are going to produce certain chemicals, and those chemicals, if it is harmful to us, we call them toxins, right? Now, the toxins cause diarrhea, right? So, in humans, it can give us, those toxins actually produce diarrhea. Doctors are concerned that new strains of C. difficile may evolve. Antibiotics may not be able to kill these new strains. So, they're saying the antibiotics may not actually work. Explain how the evolution of antibiotic resistant C. difficile may be slowed down. So the question says that this bacteria can produce toxins and will cause diarrhea, right? And they're worried that it might actually evolve. Usually when we have diarrhea and bacterial infection or food poisoning, we usually go to the doctors, and we basically rest for a couple of days till it's over. In a couple of days, it's usually over. But if it's not, then we could go to the doctors and we could get antibiotics. Now, the doctors are worried that the new strains, the new type of bacteria, may not actually be killed by the antibiotics. So the question is asking, explain, right? So you have to give reasons. How the evolution, meaning how the change of antibiotic resistance for C. difficile may be slowed down. How can you actually slow down this change in this bacteria? Well, there's a couple of things that we can actually do, right? Now, foundation students generally leave 6-mark questions, and I would strongly suggest that you write some things, think about it carefully, and write something that from your own experience. It doesn't have to be a complicated answer for a question like this, right? What would you do to make sure that you don't actually get antibiotic resistance? Things that we normally do, right? If you go to the doctors and simply say, okay, I want antibiotics, they're not actually going to give you antibiotics easily, right? So you don't actually prescribe antibiotics for everything. You actually let your body handle it first. If it doesn't work, then you use antibiotics. Now, if you are using antibiotics, then you need to make sure that you actually complete the course of antibiotics. They give you antibiotics for at least 5 days. So you have to make sure that you complete the course. If not, then you might actually get it back. If you have diarrhea because of this bacteria, so maybe stay at home, rest, don't go to work. That way you're not going to spread it to other people. And if you again make sure that you wash hands, things like this. So any of these points that I'm actually going to show you here is going to add up to the 6 marks. So again, don't worry too much about trying to get all the 6 marks, but if you can actually write enough, maybe you can walk away with at least half the marks that out of this 6 marks. So let's have a look at what are these points that they're actually looking for. Doctors should not be prescribing. So let me change the color of the pen. So doctors should not be prescribing from there. Like that. So doctors should not be prescribing antibiotics inappropriately, right? There was a point when doctors used to actually freely prescribe antibiotics. Now they stopped it, right? So fewer C. difficile are exposed to antibiotics. Don't use antibiotics to treat mild bacterial infection. Let your body handle, or your immune system handle it. Do not use antibiotics to treat any viral infection. That's key important things, right? Antibiotics don't work with viruses. They just work with bacteria. That's why we call them antibiotics, not bacterial, sorry. Patients should complete their course of antibiotics, right? Make sure you complete the course of antibiotics, so there's less chance that any of them survive in your body and mutate. The agricultural use of antibiotics should be restricted. What they mean by agricultural use is don't use these antibiotics to treat animals like sheep, cows, pigs, right? That way you're not overusing the antibiotics. Hand washing, right? Make sure you wash your hand after going to the toilet. That will help reduce the spread of C. difficile. People with diarrhea should stay away from work or school. So isolate so that you reduce the spread. Develop new antibiotics, right? So while you're doing that, we could also develop new antibiotics as well, which will kill more of the bacteria. And you could also develop vaccines which would decrease the use of antibiotics. So if you're vaccinated against the bacteria, then you might be able to, you don't probably need to use antibiotics too much. Again, for the 6-mark question, which is the last question in this paper, make sure you can actually try and answer at least some parts of the question, right, by using your personal experience, and you might actually get at least 2 to 3 marks. You'll be surprised. Anyway, that's the end of this video and this question and the paper as well. Thanks for watching, and I will link put some links for the next video for another paper. And if you found this useful, always hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you.